Hello listeners, today we are discussing testing our limitations. All of us are born with limitations. Some of them we get comfortable with and others we strive to overcome. Some of these limitations are psychological, others are physical. Today we want to discuss how we can test and go beyond those limitations. The first lesson I want to draw your attention to is that most of the limitations that we have in our lives have been imposed on us by authority figures such as parents, teachers, people we look up to, religious leaders, superiors at the workplace, friends, and the society in general. And as we grow up, we get used to these limitations. We get used to people telling us what we can and what we cannot do, where we can and where we cannot go. But today, I'm challenging you to go beyond these limitations. Besides that, the kind of education we receive when we are in school places a limitation on us. Just because you chose to offer science at school, you are labeled a science student, instead of being labeled a student who is studying science. These are all limitations. And as we grow up, we watch movies, we interact with people, more and more limitations are placed on us. And when we try to succeed, these limitations that we have lived with for so long pull us down. They tell us through an internal voice, you cannot do this, you cannot achieve this, you are not tall enough, you are not fast enough, you are not wise enough, you are not educated enough, you come from a wrong family, you don't belong to the right tribe, and on and on and on. And so after a while, we allow these limitations to become an overbearing shadow that clouds our eyes and stops us from seeing into the future. How can we overcome these limitations? First of all, identify everything that people said you cannot do and pick one to do it and overcome it. For example, if they told you that you cannot learn to drive, pick that as a limitation and learn to drive. If they told you you cannot further your education, pick that as a limitation and do it. If they told you you cannot become a professional in this area, pick that area and become a professional in it. Whatever they told you you cannot do, just pick one and do it. Start with the easiest and work your way up. And I promise you, you will excel and you will see an amazing boost in your self-confidence, in your self-faith, and in your ability to dream and move ahead. If they told you that you cannot read this course or that course because you don't have the mental capacity to do it, well, pick that course and develop the mental capacity to read that course. You see, nothing is impossible if you are willing to work at it. Some people just need a longer time frame to accomplish their goals than others. What some will accomplish in 5 years, someone might need 15 years to accomplish it. It does not mean it's impossible, it just means you need more time. What people told me I cannot do was you cannot launch more than one book at a time. And I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to launch 5 books at one go because I want my people or customers or those who come to the launch to have a variety to choose from. So if they do not want this book, they can choose that book. So find out what people are saying you cannot do, pick one of those things and do it and succeed in it. When you succeed in it, it will teach your mind that you can achieve something. And if you can achieve that, then you can also achieve something else. The next thing you need to do is that you need to give your very best. When you are doing something, whether it is relating to your family, whether it is service at your church or religious body, whether it is working at your place or your office, you need to give your very best. Giving your very best will tell you where your limit is. And then from there, you can go beyond that limit. And the key is show up and give your very best. Just show up for your family and give them your best. Show up for your children and give them your best. Show up for the workplace and give them your best. Show up for your church and give them your best. Show up for whatever religious body you belong to and give them your best. It is when you give your best that you will know what you are really capable of doing. I trust that as you do this, you will be able to test your limitations and go beyond them. And before the year is over, you would have achieved more than you thought possible. This has been Afro Lansford Banson saying, stay blessed by the best.